Sorry about that, guys. I had a laptop moment and my laptop died. So I had to quickly get it back on the charger and all that fun stuff. So, back with Ask Angel Part 2. Um, so as I was saying, um, yeah, I definitely get a lot of questions like that. Basically asking me, the how-tos, how to be confident, how to approach people, what's the best thing? And, a lot of it is, ladies, watch your face, stop being so ratchet, you know, literally, guys, it's not the hardest things in the world. It's really not. And I get this question a lot from guys. And I honestly, I hate getting this question from them because it really makes me feel bad because this is like one of the hardest questions to answer, I think. And it's the question of why do nice guys finish last? It's the hardest question for me to answer. Why do nice guys finish last? And I have searched the world over to try to find an answer to this question. And trust me, it's definitely a hard one to answer because it's mostly not about the guys, it's about the girls. Because girls have, and I say girls because they are girls, they're not women. Girls tend to have this I want a bad boy type of view. And when they get the guy that's the nice guy, this guy can be doting, this guy can be a sweetheart, this guy can be everything that you would want to take home to mama and dad. Um, Unfortunately, the problem with that is that girls who have that kind of guy get bored of him. That's the answer. Nice guys finish last because girls get bored of them and they don't want them anymore. You're too nice. You're too emotional. You're too this. You're too that. You don't take risks. You don't do anything. You have the occasional woman who will actually know and understand that she needs a nice guy, but unfortunately, a lot of that is the case. And I hate getting that question from men when they ask me, why do nice guys finish last? Why is this always the case? And I have to tell them it's because women or girls, not women, girls get bored of them because they are that doting kind of man. They are that, I'll be here for you. I'll do what you need. If you, whatever you need, whatever you go through, I'll be there. But the girl will get bored. She will, they'll have fights. They'll be like, you're not a risk taker. You're so boring. We don't do anything. You don't get into any trouble. And it's like, the woman will ask, okay, why do you want that kind of man? What makes you want that kind of man? The one who's going to beat you or hurt you. Why would you want that kind of man? And because then you're crying out for that nice guy again. And eventually, these girls will find their way back to that man that they had. Um, Sadly, though, usually the case is that that man has already found somebody and he's already moved on. Um, this is usually about like three-fourths of the case. Um, However, it took that man forever to find someone because, and that's, they spent their lives getting hurt by girls like this. Now, unfortunately, the sad circumstance with this is that the good men that are out there, and I do know a few, the good men that are out there are hurt so much by this circumstance that they end up getting changed and turned into something that they shouldn't be. Um, they end up turning into these untrusting, unloving, just damaged, broken men. And it'll take a really strong woman to break through the barrier at that point because, well, they've already been trashed. So it's at that point that I have to add a secondary answer to this question, because the secondary answer to this question is nice guys do finish last because women are bored, but you need to find a woman that is going to treat you better. And by doing that, and how to do that, well, you got to be kind of discerning. And one of my friends, um, which he knows who he is, but okay, Mark, one of my friends knows that discerning is important. Now, why is discerning important? Well, discerning is important because when you meet someone, you generally get what's called a little gut feeling about people. And those gut feelings are what tell us, is this person good or is this person bad? Hmm, I don't know. If that little gut feeling tells you that the person you're meeting is not good, maybe you should walk away. If your little gut feeling is telling you, okay, maybe I should try this out, then you should, play it out, go with the flow. But if your gut is telling you to walk the fuck away, walk away. Don't just sit there. Like, I can't tell you how many times I have talked to people and they've dated someone and they told me at the end of their relationship, well, you know what? I knew from the beginning that this person was just bad news. Excuse me? If you knew from the beginning that this person was bad news, why did you date him? The gut feeling? Yeah, listen to it. It tells you a lot. Your vibes that you get off of people tells you a lot. So, that's that for those questions. Now, opinions? Well, I got a few. So, I've been asked my opinion on a few things recently. It's kind of funny. And it's funny only because, oh, and by the way, I'm not wearing my oxygen right now because the air up here is great, just so we're clear. Like, Ruidoso, great for air. No smog, no pollution. Just so we're like you guys are not gonna bash me for not wearing my oxygen right now. I have fresh air right now. So good. Great oxygen. Awesome. Anyways, so I know I kind of sound like Bailey Sarian right now. Totally cool. Anyways, I love her. Um, so opinion on certain things. Um, the reason why certain people won't, I guess, date certain people, and I found it fucking hilarious because, and it's not a racist thing. So obviously, y'all know I'm black, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Caribbean. It's fine. Like I claim Caribbean because it's just easier. Okay. I need y'all's opinion on this because I need to know if if you think the same way. Okay. So there's this saying that black dudes won't date black girls. Now, me and my homegirl, we agree with this saying, but we think it's because if a black dude dates a black girl, it's because they had a black mama or sisters and they know what they in for. The attitude, all of that. That's our opinion. We also think it's because there's a little high maintenance involved. Now, my friend Mark brought up a good concept today. What is acting black? I'm gonna follow up on his video from today. What is acting black? What is black ener like what is that? Because I'm black. I'm Caribbean, so I'm part African. So what but look at me. I'm white. Like to the human eye, I'm white, but I'm not. So what technically is acting black? Because I don't understand what that is exactly. Is it a culture thing? Like, when did we divide what being black was or how acting black is? Or when did we as a society decide to separate what being black was or being African was? Because being African is not the same. And Africans don't claim black, just so we're clear. They claim African. I speak South African. I know. It's a completely different language. So how or where did we change what it meant to be black or act black? I would love to know what that means because I don't. Is it wearing a weave in your hair, like for a female, I'm saying, because obviously for an African American male, it's different. So for a female, what's acting black? Is it wearing a wig? Is it, wearing a weave? Is it super, super curly hair? Is it being like dark, dark brown? Is it the dialect we use? Is it the type of body we have? I don't understand what defines the black culture. Like I've even gone on different media platforms. Like doesn't matter what media platform we're talking about. It could be fucking Tubi, it could be Hulu. It doesn't matter what media platform it is. And now we're segregating black entertainment. Like how come no one's brought that up either? So now the new generation is saying, okay, so because we have been so, I guess, hurt over the years, generation wise, that we need to now. We're resegregating. Like I don't understand. Like we wanted to stop segregation. We wanted to integrate into culture. But now we're segregating our culture again, and it's okay. No one finds a problem with that. That we worked so hard in the 1960s and 1970s to integrate culture, to integrate Black culture and African American culture into white culture, to the point where we fought so hard because we only had black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods, black water fountains or colored water fountains and white colored water fountains. We fought so hard for integration, and now we're fighting and we have segregation all over the place again. But it's okay this time. Like, what is black culture? Like, we fought all of this time to have an integrated culture, but now you go on media platforms and all you see is black entertainment, like segregated entertainment, even propaganda. So I'm lost because I thought that that's what we were fighting for back then. But yet now we have all of this all over again. But this time it's okay because the new generation says it's okay. Because we need to put black people, African Americans technically, at the forefront. I get it. Our ancestors went through some shit, which they did. Don't get me wrong. But we fought the Civil War to cut it out. Why are we bringing it back? Even my hair is integrated. So why is it that now everything is black or white, colored or not colored? Like, nothing for nothing, but even the president talks a lot more about what's going on with the colored world and, immigrants and stuff like that, trying to bring that to the forefront. And it's not that these things aren't battles that we haven't fought for a very long time. We have fought them, and it is true, we have had to deal with these things for decades and centuries. But mm, no one's noticed the segregation that's happening all over the place again because you're bringing it to the forefront. Like there's literally a battle going on right now and no one is seeing it. Like again, what is black culture? When someone says you're not black enough, what does that mean? I've literally I literally got up in front of karaoke one day during Black History Month and I said I was black and everybody looked at me like I had five heads. Yeah, I'm black. Like what do you classify as black culture? Why do you look at me like I've got five heads? Why is it that someone like myself or someone like my friend Mark, why do you look at us like we're not the cultural appropriate like what appropriation of black? Why do we have to meet your standard? That doesn't make sense to me. And he like the and the reason why this is part of my opinion side of the video is because like it even got brought up with him today. And it's an interesting catalyst because why is that a thing? Why is it that we have to go through these kind of questions and like I have a friend who's as white as me, but she's half black. So when it was brought up in another video today, I decided that it was a good follow-up for me to bring that up today in the opinion side because I don't understand from other people's point of view here, what is the cultural appropriation of black? And when you look at someone, what do you see that makes you classify that person as black? Because I would love to know, like, is it their hair? Is it the way that they walk? Is it their clothes? Because those are all materialistic things. You don't know, biologically or like genealogically speaking, if a person is black. They could be white as snow and still be black. Like I don't, and even so, like I just think it's completely prejudicial and wrong for you to even like say to someone, "You're not black enough." Who are you? That's just, and the fact that that was brought up today is just absolutely wrong. And I don't believe that that's anybody's business to say to someone else. Why? Because you see black as ghetto? Okay. Not all of us are ghetto. If we were raised in a ghetto atmosphere, as in poor, and we were raised in the streets and in a bad neighborhood, then that's different. Ghetto is not black. Ghetto is where you were raised. There needs to be a huge line drawn there. And that is another opinion I have. When I say that I'm ghetto, it means that I was raised in a place that was ghetto. As in, there were gangs. As in, there was violence. As in, I was poor. Like, that's what I mean. I don't mean that I'm ghetto because I'm black. No, I mean I'm ghetto because I was raised ghetto. I was raised in a place where you walk down the street and there's a fight. I was raised in a place where there were gangs. And I'm not talking about these little tiny El Paso gangs that y'all think are fucking gangs. That's nothing compared to the gangs of New York. And if you've seen the movie, you've seen it. I mean, there's just that's not the same thing. My dad is blind in one eye because he got shot when he was a kid. Like, let's be real here. Okay? We would have streets in my town that are notorious for you not to go down. Like, do you have that? Like, literal streets that you can't walk down by yourself. Because if you do, you might get jumped, you might get shot, you might get stabbed. You don't know what's going to happen. That's ghetto. That's what we have. That's the meaning of ghetto. When they referred to the ghettos in the Holocaust, what were the ghettos in the Holocaust? If you got taught that, I don't know if you did. Ghettos in the Holocaust were places where there were towns where they were locked in, and there was crime, there was starvation, there was famine and pestilence. They were poor, disgusting towns. Ghetto. That's why we use the term. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Zero. So why it's being referenced to someone who's African American or Latino is completely wrong. And I blame some of that on the entertainers, don't get me wrong. Some of that is pretty much to blame on some musicians and some entertainers. But it's a misappropriation. It's not to be based on the color of my skin. Because I could be a classy looking white girl coming out of the ghetto with pretty clothes and still be ghetto. It doesn't matter. My mom doesn't look like she belongs in the ghetto, but she can still whoop your ass. So, what's your. My mom is white too, but she dresses like a lady and she can kick your ass like a lady. So, it doesn't matter. The term ghetto is just where you come from. Just like the term bougie is where you come from. We use that term for people who grew up in the Hamptons. You bougie. Why? Because you came from money. You ain't ghetto, you bougie. If you grew up on the Upper West Side of Manhattan or the Upper East Side, you bougie. You came from money. You didn't come from no hard knocks. You don't know what it's like for people like us. So, you bougie. So when you hear us use the term for somebody, or we say, oh, that person's bougie, they bougie. That means they prissy, they snooty, they're snobby, they think they all that. They wouldn't know how to fight their way out of a paper bag. Get it? If you turn around and you say, oh, she ghetto, that means she look pretty, but she can kick your ass. There are dudes out there who look ghetto, but they bougie. It's a pretty illusion, ain't it? You look like a thug. You wanna be a thug. You a poser. And people like us can smell posers from miles away. Why? Because number one, you trying too hard. We can tell you trying too hard. If you have to look like a thug, you ain't a thug. Because you trying to look like one. Thugs don't have to try to look like one. In fact, most thugs don't. They dress in a nice pair of jeans, nice shirt, maybe a hat fitted. They can kick your ass though. They're usually pretty built, but they can lay you out. It's magician's rule number two. Only let them see what you want them to see. So if you look like a thug, we know that you can't do anything. And you probably have something on you because you know you can't fight. So you probably have something on you that is going to help you fight. So we're prepared for the fact that you might have a piece. We're prepared for the fact you might have a knife because you can't obviously fight on your own. So you need something to help you. We don't need anything to help us. We just have these. That's it. But that doesn't mean that, does that constitute color? I've seen some white people throw down. They could be ghetto. I mean, but no, that they're not ghetto though. What's the term for them? Redneck? Like I don't understand. Like with the labels, like what constitutes any of those? What constitutes the label of you're not black enough? Okay, so what's white enough? What's Spanish enough? Has anybody asked those questions? I mean, I'm just wondering. So, how what is the definition or labels of, or what's the list? Like, give me the checklist. Okay, so this is this the black checklist, and then we have a white checklist, and then we have a Latina checklist. Okay, so unless you meet all these criteria, you're not Latina enough, you're not white enough, you're not black enough. Okay, all right, so then what the fuck am I? Am I just here? I don't know. Do I go back to Puerto Rico? Because unless they have a checklist too, in which case I'm not Puerto Rican enough. So do I just go float in the Bermuda Triangle somewhere? Like I don't really. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I could be Morticia Adams and just take a vacation in the Bermuda Triangle. That's fine. Like, she said she had a good time. So I'm just wondering because is there a checklist for this somewhere? Like, are we supposed to just check the boxes and see which one we fall into more? What is enough? I really would like to know. That's like saying, okay, well, your eyes are brown, but they're not brown enough. Okay, I'll try to make them more brown. Okay, sorry. Don't think so. Like, I don't think so. Like, that was probably the worst thing I heard today. You're not black enough. And mind you, Mind you, this person was more like was darker than me. And a lot of people are usually darker than me because I'm probably like the whitest Puerto Rican ever. Just saying. Even when I was younger, my parents used to call me like they used to call me Weta because I'm white. I'm white. I've always been white with my little olive tint. I look more Italian than anything else. But uh I don't really know how else to describe that. It was quite disturbing to hear that now we're and like that in essence though that's like literally a it's an African on African hate crime. Like you're hating on somebody that's like it's he's you're hating on a fellow African for not being African. Like I don't like it's just what I'm just it kind of just throws me off. Like I'm just like mm, okay. Like I've been hated on for doing the whole pagan thing, the whole witch thing, and there's like, and I'm wondering, like, one day, like, you're just gonna come to me like, oh, you're not witch enough? What? Say again. Do you want to see how witch I am? But then it's like, no, let me not. It's not worth my time anymore. Those people aren't worth my time anymore. Like, that is officially a headache I don't want. I have plenty of headaches. I don't need that one. But like I have friends in the African American community. I have so many people, that are just doing great things and just that alone and comedy and just the whole nine, shout out to Sharita. But like really? Like I dare somebody to go up to Sharita and just say you ain't black enough. Like I want that to happen one day so that she could just roast them. Like uh, and it's not like we're all not mixed with something, but it's just like, dude, like, I'm sorry, how black do I have to be to meet your approval? Do I gotta go pick some cotton to make you feel better, to make my clothes? Like, do I gotta go sing Southern songs of prayer like the old days? I don't know what you want me to do. Do you want me to go make tribal art? I don't know what you want me to go do. So, but it's just it blows my mind. So that's for today's opinion on Ask Angel. Just a follow up on, Mark's video from earlier today. Um, Definitely an interesting question or statement to be made, and I don't agree with it at all. And like I said, the segregation is happening all over again, and we are merely just going decades back, centuries back. And now it's okay because, the new generation's fine with it. What? Okay. Let me know when that kicks off correctly. Like, no one's noticing the segregation literally around us. If you're that blind to what's going on around you, might have an issue. Might want to reassess yourself. But on that note, I'm going to dip out of here. Um, that's it for today's session of Ask Angel, but I will be back again sometime this week. Just depends on how many questions I get this week that need to be answered, or if I hear another lovely story that needs to be responded to. So keep the funny stories coming because I might have some more opinions on those and some more enlightening information for you guys. But till then, bye.